Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Football Inc. I hope you're all happy and healthy doing the thing. With those you love to do them. I forget where I was for a second. Hope you're all happy and healthy. Guys, please smash the like button for us on the video if you enjoy the content. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. If you are watching this and you want to participate in the comment section, all you got to do is drop the sub, a little rub, and it will give you instant access to the comment section. Hit the notification bells and drop some comments. Let us know thick and fast what is going on in your mind regarding all things we're going to be talking about. Also, guys, we are on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, where if you're watching this later, but you'd rather watch it when you're out walking the wife, then you can do that as well on Spotify, uploaded within the hour, hopefully, as soon as these things are finished. Jonny, how you doing, mate? Busy day in world of football.
Yeah, all good, all good. Busy day, usual ups and downs of life. The sun is shining. Two beautiful bombers, if you're a Spurs fan, yesterday with Jed Spence and Super Cuti Romero. Cuti Romero, the same Cuti Romero that's leaving if Ange Postecoglou is sacked. Yeah, he looked really miserable about it. So he signed. He looks very happy. Spurs fan base are happy. Lots of deals looking to be done. The first round of fixtures out the way. First round of the fantasy football underway, and our score predictions underway. So the season's finally started, and it's great to actually be up and ready. And guys, thanks so much. We've hit 4,500 in just under 3 months. Absolutely unbelievable. Never thought that was possible. We're now on the journey to 5,000. So if you are here for the first time, you know the rules. Well, you don't, because you were here for the first time. Stupid thing to say. Yeah, the sun's got to me. If you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Tell us where you're from and what team you support. We noticed yesterday we got fans here from Arsenal, Man City, Everton, Newcastle, and Villa yesterday. So keep on coming, and I look forward to welcoming you into the chat as the season goes on. Where should we start, Shawnee?
Well, there's one story. Like Tottenham, I guess, is the best place to start, mate. That's the busy one at the moment, isn't it? All eyes are on Tottenham Hotspur. Multiple deals or double deals potentially in the works. But we heard last night that let's start with Savio. It looked like we were getting closer and closer. Tottenham are willing to put in a third, fourth bid. We've got the agents flying over from Brazil, hoping to make it happen. Savio wants to leave. And then the guy, Balagay, came out and said, it's off. Man City have said no dice, not dealing. Most people then said, who's this guy? He's yesterday's news. He's like a tier 10 these days. But then also, there was no noise on that from Romano, but there was noise that was shared by that from Ben Jacobs and from Alex Crook. And then later on in the evening, Romano said the same thing, that essentially the CEO of Manchester City is essentially blocking the move, mate. What's your thoughts on it?
Look, it's a difficult one because it could be. I don't subscribe to the scenario, this payback. I more think that if he's not coming, or if they're not letting him go, it's because they've asked Real Madrid for what telephone number they want for Rodrigo. And the fact that they like to sign Rodrigo and potentially sign Donnarumma, which is going to be another 25, 30 million, it might push them over the FFP. Not that that's bothered them before or stopped them. Still got the 115 charges hanging over them. So maybe that's the issue, because they've still got, on that left-hand side, they've still got Foden. They've still got Oscar Bob. They've got Doku that can play out wide. They've got an abundance. They've got an abundance of players and talent. Mamouche, they've got plenty of talent that can play out on the flank. But until it's over, it ain't over. I don't think that Spurs would have approached them without any encouragement whatsoever. It just seems so random for a player that's been at Man City of all clubs for a year. Maybe they're still smarting a bit from the Cole Palmer fiasco, because it is a fiasco, isn't it? You know, sold him for, was it 40 odd million, 45 million. and now he's easily worth double that. So maybe they're smarting from that. Pep seems a bit grumpy because he was, as soon as they mentioned Edison or Rico Lewis, I think he's basically saying unless he knocks on my door and says, I want to go, he's going nowhere. Is he worth more than 70 million at 21? I don't think so. Is he a good player? Yes. Is he an exciting player? Yes. But I think 60 million is about right. You know, if they want a bit of a sell on, fine. But 55, 60 million, I can't actually remember what they sold him for, bought him for. Do you remember?
Yeah, 25 million.
Yeah, come on. You bought him a year ago.
Yeah, but they bought it from their own. They bought it from Troy, didn't they? It's in their own City Football Group thing. He was valued at 50 million euros when he went for 29 million euros, so 25 million quid. So it's just like a robbing Peter to pay Paul thing.
He was good at Girona. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, fantastic at Girona.
Numbers at Girona were just insane. And obviously, you know, Thomas Frank. Listen, I believe Thomas Frank's talent ID is exceptionally good. And our previous incumbent, I wasn't a big fan of his talent idea. I've said it right from the very off. But I think Thomas Frank's is different. The fact that he's brought in Paulinho, kudos, hopefully Eze, and he's identified Savinho. I think that augurs well. Bearing in mind, this is our first transfer window, guys, and it could end up being the best transfer window we've had in years and years and years.
I think it already is, isn't it, mate?
Well, it will be once.
If Eze gets done, it's already. I mean, even without Eze, I still. When was the last time we bought in a level of Kudus and a level of Paulinho?
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you'd have said to Spurs fans after that final, Spurs are going to bring in Eze, Kudus, and Paulinho, that you would have had fans salivating. But things move on, and as soon as you get them in, it's more. Let's wait and see. But I would be delighted if that is the last player we bring in. I'd like more. Of course I would. But, you know, anyone who says they're underwhelmed or disappointed with the signing of Kudus, Eze and Paulinho and the signing of Cuti Romero on a 4-year-long contract, it's like a new 70, 80 million pound signing, and Jed Spence onto a long contract, you're a person that's very hard to please. That's all I can say.
100%, mate. Well, I couldn't agree more. So we shall see. Before we move on to the bigger story, obviously, Eze, just quickly, if Savinho is dead, I asked you this question on the Spurs talk show, but I think probably of the 1,200 people that were watching, probably about 120 heard it because the lagging was unbelievable. I really hope the lagging doesn't ruin this stream as well, guys. I don't know what's gone on. Last couple of days, my channel's been spoilt by YouTube or whatever it is. But the question I asked you, Johnny, was if not Savio, then who? And let me just preface this by saying, if Tottenham were going to were prepared to drop £70 million on a 21-year-old guy that hasn't done that much, then first of all, we can feel reassured that we have that sort of money, right? And then I'm not talking about so much Hincapi. Let's stick to the kind of top end of the pitch thing here. But as a replacement for him, do you think Tottenham could go and have the draw of someone of Savinho's talent elsewhere in Europe, whereby the player that's in those other clubs that's of that level, he doesn't necessarily have to worry about his minutes in a World Cup year? Yeah,
I mean, look, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Kubo. I'm not quite understanding the value of that. Yildiz at Juventus, they need the money. They want to sign Kolo Muani. Whether or not they want him to leave is debatable. Unless you came
very doubtful they won't want to, but money's money, right?
Yeah, and if they came in with like a £65 million bid, they might move. I'm sure there's others they've got in the pipeline if this doesn't go through, because this is it's a Hail Mary, isn't it? Do you not think? I think this is a Hail Mary
for Savinho.
Yeah,
at this stage it feels like a Hail Mary, but yeah. I don't listen. Even if it falls apart, there's going to be the section of the Tottenham fan base that always look for a reason to moan, and they'll pick up their stick again. But for me, this one, if it doesn't happen, it's not on Tottenham's side, is it? It's clearly that we went back at 50, 60, 70 million euros, 3 different bids, £10 million gaps. Like, we've done everything that we can. If they don't want the player to leave and the player's not prepared to knock on the door and ask to leave, as you said, then it becomes difficult. The problem is for me is that if that's the ambition to go and get a left winger of that quality, a Rafael Leao, I'm not that sold on him either personally, but he's a very, very good player. But if that was the next option, on his day, 100%. And I think he's a bit of a minutes player. But a player like that would get everybody, a little bit moist. But I think that he's not going to sit there, and he loves AC Milan, right? He doesn't want to leave. So it's not going to be as easy to make that conversation happen because the player isn't as willing. Yildiz probably not as willing. Pedro Gonçalves, Sporting all the way through and through, right? He hasn't left in years, so I don't know if he would leave.
Yeah,
a player like Danny Olmo, like even if he was to be shepherded out to the left, I think Danny Olmo's a better 10, but like it doesn't become very easy to go and replace Savio's name with someone of that ilk because Tottenham are still Tottenham, and the reason why Savio, the story was probably more progressed was because Savio was worried about World Cup year minutes.
Well, I just think look, man, let's go for man.
I mean, he wants to go to Inter, but Inter have basically been told by Atalanta, sorry.
They're not paying the money. I reckon Arsenal are going to nip in there. It wouldn't be such a bad thing if we nipped in and nicked him off of Arsenal and took Eze off of him. Because he could definitely play on the left-hand side, right? Double
That'd be sensational. The meltdown would be fantastic.
Yeah, but
Akliouche, mate. A lot of people are telling me Akliouche, the Monaco guy, right? They're saying he's a 10. He isn't. Last year, he was like, I'll get his heat map up. He's a left winger who can drift in like Eze can, but his heat map is very much left wing stuff. And people are saying he's not a winger, he's a 10. I'm like, I don't know what Akliouche. Were you looking at the same player I was last season? Because I don't think you were. He's a left winger who happens to drift in. Eze's a 10 that drifts out, I believe. But what do you think about Akliouche? Do you rate him?
Yeah, look, he's a strong left-footed talent. He's not 70 million. That's for sure.
No, exactly. No? Definitely not.
So if you're saying to me, let's have him, and then go and get Pierre Hincapié for 60 million, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, some are saying he's a right winger. Some are saying he's a 10. Some are saying he plays on the right and in the middle.
What are we talking about? Hang about. I'm gonna show you all right now.
Some are saying Anthony Gordon.
No, I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but I can't see. Could you imagine the Newcastle fan base would go into meltdown if they lost him? Lost him and they lost Isak. I can't see that happening. Listen, you came up with Akliouche. I actually haven't seen the links with him. I've got to be honest with you.
Akliouche, yeah, no, that's apparently the one that Tottenham are moving for. If afterwards, hang on, I'm going to show you his heat map now.
Can't see Newcastle selling. Sean and I are massive fans of Anthony Gordon, but I just can't see it. Malik Fofana, we're a big fan of. I don't know. Let's have a look. What have you got there? While you're dipping around.
Hang on, I'll come back to that. I'll move on. What are we saying about? So I'll do this. I'll look for it. Where's the Eze? What's the Eze story, mate? So everyone's coming after you, Johnny, saying you didn't know it was done, and you're saying because it's not done yet. What's his name? Even Paul O'Keefe saying it's done, but it's not done yet, right, Johnny?
No.
I think I went too early on my stream as well.
Listen, look, it's not done yet. When it's done, you'll know it's done, and it's not done yet. Listen, is it nearly done? Yeah. But it's not done. It ain't over until it's over. Come on, guys. How many deals have you seen fall at the final hurdle? How many deals have Spurs had when the final hurdle? Paulo Dybala, right? William jumping out the window. There's a whole list of deals that were almost deals and snatched away at the last moment. So it's not done yet. I reckon it will be done. Almost certainly it will be done, but it's not done yet. We still don't know whether he'll be playing if he's going to be made to be playing on Thursday as part of the deal to get him through, or he won't be. Because I would say if he plays on Thursday, there's very little chance or no chance that he will be playing for Spurs on Saturday. The turnaround's too short, especially Saturday morning. Had it been Sunday night, it probably it would have been done. But listen, you can have verbal agreement, right? You can have a verbal agreement. I can say to Sean, I'm going to buy your chair behind you. We got a verbal agreement, but nothing's tied up. I've just spoken about it. I've agreed. He said the price. And you know what? I've gone to bed. I've had a little think about it. And I've said, okay. I said, okay, Sean, I'll make it. And Sean's also had to think about it. He said, you know what? I want all the money up front. I don't want you to do that. Or I've moved the goalpost a little bit. Listen, I believe it will be done step by step, bit by bit. That's how deals are done. Everyone thinks, oh, look, why isn't the Garnacho done? Deal still not done. Why?
What's going on there? That's interesting, isn't it? Are Chelsea resting on their laurels, or what are we doing there?
Well, I mean, what about your other boy? That's still not done. Xavi Simmons,
your club player.
Yeah, Xavi Simmons is still not done. These deals take a long time. It's not just A, B, C, tick the box, and here we go. Let's see. But listen, one thing's for sure: this must be the most universally desired player that I can remember in years and years and years. Really, honestly, I can't think of another player. I remember probably the biggest excitement of any player signing after this one would probably be Rafa van der Vaart. That was probably when the fan base went into meltdown. I think this one, Spurs would end up selling God knows how many Eze shirts straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, it's a dream come true. I can always. I said to you on Saturday, I was always creatively visualizing Eze in that team playing with Kudos and the likes of Paulinho, Richarlison, and whoever else comes in on that left hand side. But I think it's going to happen.
Just quickly, I've just got to be entirely honest. I've completely had a brain fart. So I got that back up my my Y Scout advanced search tool there, and was looking back at my recent things I was looking at. Completely screwed up. Akliouche is a right winger who drifts in off the left. It was Yildiz who I was looking at earlier on today, thinking it was Akliouche, and he's a full left winger. So my apologies for the bozo moment, brain fart there. But mate, what do you think about this? People are saying Lookman is trash, right? So there's a lot of people saying that Lookman that they're not a massive fan of because they think he flopped in the Premier League. There's a couple of players that would fit into that kind of world, right? Like Moises Keane is another one.
Listen, but you've got to go back to go forward. This is the same Lookman who scored a hat trick in the Europa League final, to win it for Atalanta. Is this the same Lookman that Inter Milan are desperately trying to sign but don't have the 43 million to get the deal over the line?
Well, do you think though that sometimes these players, like, because there's two schools of thought, right? The Premier League is a different level, different game. It doesn't mean like some players are a perfect fit for the Premier League, but maybe don't do as well in slower paced games or more technical leagues or whatever else. But then the other school of thought is they were kids when they were in the Premier League. Like, Adamola Lookman played for Charlton, Everton, and I think it was Charlton, Everton, and Leicester, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then he pissed off to Atalanta.
I always liked him.
I always liked him as well. He's a big geezer, very good. But is it that the Premier League didn't suit him, or is it that he was a younger player and he's matured over time? And if he was to come back now, would he be better at the standard, or was the standard just different and the game in the Premier League is faster for him?
I don't understand how people are, because there are a lot of players that have come through academies at big clubs, and for whatever reason they couldn't find their way and they've had to drop down the leagues. And then they come back. They come back up. They go down, get minutes, and come back up and become players in the Premier League. And sometimes it works the other way, where players, start well and drop off. Where's Jadon Sancho now? All the hype, the massive transfers, and he hasn't really done it. Sometimes you can, start. I don't think he was poor. I think he was a good player, personally. He always had something about him. And let's be honest, Eze is, I Archie is just saying it there. Eze is a perfect example of that. There he was, failed at, let go, should I say, at Arsenal, let go by Millwall at 15, 16 years of age, struggled to get in, managed to get into QPR, loaned about, then started to turn it on, ended up going to Palace, and look where he is now. 27 years of age it's taken him to get to this stage in his career. It's been a journey of going backwards, but having the inner strength and the right mindset to come forward full circle and go above where, from where he came. So I think, to write off these players is nonsensical, that we have some vision of how they were of days gone by. Harry Kane's another one. Couldn't get it together. Look what happened if it hadn't been for Tim Sherwood. If it hadn't been for him, no Goldado could have been the one. And, they could have been sending Harry Kane out and sold for, for not very much money. Anyway, we're talking about blocking. What's the name? Let's. We're
going to go for a cop block, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Just when you thought your squad was getting proper, that player won't leave. They call that cock blocker.
Talk to me, Johnny.
Brentford. Johan Vissa has unfollowed Brentford, changed his player profile picture to black, removed all the club photographs from his Instagram account as he looks to leave. Vissa move to Newcastle is currently being blocked by Brentford, who have absolutely no interest in selling him until they get their player. Now, I think they're right here. They've lost Mbuemo. They stated straight away that if one goes, the other one can't go. Right? Yeah. They stated that quite clearly. But I think, Newcastle are trying to, get him out, make him the one who creates all the noise. They offered 30 million for Vissa, right? That's not enough. He's 28 years of age, right? They're going to come back with a 35 million pound bid. Do you know what? It's a difficult one, this one, because obviously he wants to leave. He see that Brentford are up shit's creek, but I see Brentford's point of view. You've got a contract, mate, and you've got to see it out. And, you can throw your toys out the pram, but will he be the same player if you force him to stay?
Look, mate, I feel so desperately sorry for Brentford. I don't know what they should do in this situation. I think they've massively overpaid for that Ouattara fella. I think that they have been absolutely ransacked for their squad, their entire ecosystem, the best players, the best coaching staff. They've also lost Mbuemo. You got their next best guy, Vissa. He's put his. I mean, if I'm Kelleher,
the guy's gone as well. I'm told.
Who?
The data guy has left now for Spurs.
He's coming to Tottenham.
Oh, he's already there.
Has that been announced? Has it?
Well, not officially, but he's there.
Well, there you go. You got a bomber, guys. You got a bomber.
Oh,
everyone wanted to be like Brentford and Brighton until it took us to go and get the guy to make us look like Brentford and Brighton. That's sensational.
Listen, look. The thing is here. Brentford have survived brilliantly under Thomas Frank. There were so many Spurs fans who are underwhelmed at the possibility that Thomas Frank coming into this club, and I think they're now beginning to eat their words. Talent ID, how he handles all the squad, but I feel sorry for Brentford. I don't know how much Francis is out of his depth. When it was 3-0 at half time against Forest, I was fearing the worst. But they managed to pull one back with a penalty, I think it was. So we shall see. Look, it's the first game. He needs to get underneath the the squad and start putting his ideas into the squad. I think personally he needs to try and keep it as much as near to Thomas Frank's system as possible in early doors. So there's not too much to blame. I mean, Kelleher's gone from Liverpool to Brentford, not knowing that Thomas Frank was going. And he's probably wondered, what have I done? That one could be, Kelleher could be a player on the move very soon, as quickly as next season.
Honestly, I'm sitting there thinking, a poor guy, but I don't know which goalkeeper do you feel worse for? Kelleher is going to play, but I think Brentford are going to get sucked into a relegation battle. I think it's probably at this stage, mate. We'll come to the predictions, obviously, and the results of that. I think Blaine was asking. I'm updating when you hear me tapping away. I'm updating the kind of background banners for it, but we'll come to that later. But I think that Burnley, West Ham, and Brentford are probably the most vulnerable teams right now. West Ham have had a shocking window. Fulham, if they lose Muniz, might get dragged in as well. But Brentford, to me, I've just been ransacked, and I think that Kelleher might be sitting there going, as much as probably the guy who's just joined City, Trafford, to sit there and realise that you're about to have Donnarumma as your competition, who's only 26 years old.
And Ortega's still there as well.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
I really like Kelleher. I've got to be honest with you. When Spurs were looking for a goalkeeper, I wanted him to come. That's before we signed, obviously, Vicario and Kinski. We need to hop on the plane, Sean, but not to the expensive place.
Let's go then. Let's go to Lunchtown.
This is the turkey segment. The turkey segment of the show.
Yes, guys. Galatasaray still in the market, still hoovering up players. They've got Osman, who's the star man, obviously, but they've approached Manchester City and spoken to Manuel Akanji about a possible move, but the defender has failed to make a final decision. They're trying everything they can to sign him. But not only that, they're trying to build a proper team here to compete in the Champions League this season. And Galatasaray have now bid 20 million plus add-ons for Diogo Costa, with Ederson really still their main priority out of Man City. I mean, two top goalkeepers, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about Diogo Costa as being a potential for Man United or for Chelsea or any top team. Can you believe that there's a possibility if they don't get Ederson that he's going to end up going to Galatasaray?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because I think he's top 3 or 4 in the world, and but he stayed at Porto his whole career thus far, or not his whole career, but I think he's basically been there most of it, and he's an absolute sensation. I'd love to see him in the Premier League. And I'm surprised that he's going to go there. It must be a money thing, mate. I'd imagine, but then I'd imagine that I mean, I don't know what that tax incentive thing is over there. How much tax do they get, or how much tax do they pay? And you compare that to like being in the UK, where you pay like 50% tax essentially for a footballer. So if he's earning, I don't know, 200 grand a week, that would be 300 grand a week in the UK, and no one's going to pay that for him. So maybe it just be a money thing, and Galatasaray are putting together a strong team, as are Besiktas and Fenerbahce. But yeah, it's odd, mate. It's odd that he would choose to go there. But he's a great goalkeeper. Great goalkeeper.
And I just, they are really hoovering up. I mean, if they carry on like this, I think Galatasaray, obviously it's going to be a difficult place to go to. We know how fiery that stadium is, and with a proper striker and some good signings. As Foxy mentioned before, Yilmaz, another very good player they've got there. Fenerbahce have opened talks with West Ham United for their Mexican player Edison Alvarez. Jose Mourinho very keen on the player, on the midfielder. Lots of other clubs in Europe interested in him as well. Can he work his magic? This is according to Fabrizio Romano. Can he work his magic, do you think, and get him there? Or do you think he feels, I'm in the Premier League?
You rate Alvarez?
Well, not for me. He's at West Ham and he's leaving.
Yeah, I know, but if he was to stay in the Premier League, what sort of caliber of football club would get him?
Well, there's the question.
He's not going to go up a tier, is he? If anything, if he was to stay in the Premier League, I don't think he is a top 10 team. I think he's about the level where he is. So, like, for me personally, he's got a great name. Don't get me wrong, sexy name. But for me, I just think that he's, get him out to Spain, get him out to Turkey. If they're willing to pay the money, but then where do West Ham go, mate? West Ham aren't exactly known for like getting some super talent. They're not exactly known for their talent ID. They're not exactly known for their draw. No one's going to go there to play to see that stadium. Imagine the friends and family of the players going, "What, you want me to go and watch my son 17 times, 18, 19 times a year from like basically." Need a pair of binoculars. I don't know what the draw is, and I think if West Ham sell him, he's a good enough player to help them out, but he's not. Like I don't know what West Ham are doing here. Like if I'm a West Ham fan, I'm fuming slightly.
I think they're just a bit obsessed right now of keeping Paquetá. So maybe their eyes are off the. Taking their eyes off the prize, but we shall see. We were talking about. Go on.
I was just going to say, do you think? How I don't really follow West Ham fans, so if there's any West Ham fans in here, let me know. If anyone follows West Ham fan content, let me know how angry they are. But Johnny, do you remember about 2 months ago we were talking about Trip Smith?
Yeah,
and that the guy Trakinski, who owns 25%. Was going to sell his 25%. If he could double his money, he was going to walk away and let Trip Smith take over. And then he was also going to buy out David Gould, his daughter, because David Gould obviously passed away with one of his daughters. The other daughter just finished the probate, and so that she wants out. She doesn't care about football, and so Trip Smith was going to buy the whole lot. Then he was going to become 60% general owner or majority owner. David Sullivan, who's a bit of a bozo, was then going to be basically sidelined, similar to how Textor felt at Palace. Like all of the like none of the power anymore to be able to do anything. It's not that Sullivan had much ambition, but Trip Smith did. Trip Smith wanted to. Trip Smith's got relationships with the geezer who David Blitzer, who owns Blackstone Capital, and all the money they've got. Like if I'm a West Ham fan 2 months ago, I'm like, come on, get this done. We might get some actual ambitious owners in. We might be able to do a bit. 2.5 months later, nothing has progressed on that front. They've lost their or one of their top 3 best players. They're desperately trying to keep hold of Paquetá, who, for the most part, wants out. Whether he goes to City or elsewhere, remains to be seen. The last man standing in that group is Jarrod Bowen. Does Jarrod Bowen want to hang around? I mean, I know he's West Ham through and through, Johnny, but he's not. He's a whole boy. So, like, would he jump ship as well?
I don't know. I wanted to ring Paquetá and ask him what the odds are on him leaving, but apparently he couldn't comment. But I think West Ham are in the mud right now. It's not an attractive proposition. Getting turned over, I knew they'd get beaten by Sunderland. I predicted that result, not that score, but I predicted that result. Granit Xhaka, let me tell you, was absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
in his debut, but
sensational, don't they?
I know. I feel it was we got to go back. Sorry, it's my fault because when we're talking about Spurs, I should have spoken about Crystal Palace at the time. And Crystal Palace have said they have every desire to retain Akliouche Eze and Mark Gahey, respectively, until after the start of their Conference League campaign on Thursday against Friedrichstadt. Can you imagine if they got injured?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is that so they still want to keep Eze? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they want to keep both and Mark Gahey. Wow. This is according to the Mirror. They want to keep both of them till after the game. I don't know how that one's going to pan out. Can you imagine if one of them gets injured? We know that they need to get their player in, Akliouche from Leicester, who for me blows hot and cold. He can be fantastic and then go missing. But there's another guy when it's cold out there in the winter and you need a good defender, Jeremy Jacket. Jeremy Jacquet, sorry, to give him his French name, but I'll call him Jeremy Jacket. Another player from Rennes.
Yeah, my club.
Rennes keep producing these. 20-year-old French defender who's meant to be the replacement for Mark Gahey. They were after Inter Milan's monster. What was his name? I keep forgetting his name now.
Inter Milan's monster.
Centre-back. The centre-back. I'm trying to think. Did it begin with B? I'm trying to think.
Oh, that guy. Bastoni.
No, not Bastoni. No. Was it Bastoni?
Jan Bissek. Jan Bissek.
Yeah, Jan Bissek. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Jan Bissek. I knew it began with B. I think I don't blame them for needing their players before they let anyone else go. I think it's totally understandable. I think most clubs operate in that manner. And why would they want to let them go? Can you imagine if they lost to Friedrichstadt, who are well into their season, ahead physically, probably?
They'll be fine, mate. They'll be absolutely fine.
It should be, yeah. It's Conference League.
Let me ask you this: if you're Daniel Levy and you're trying to get the deal done, would you, if it's the final piece of the puzzle? Okay, we're all agreed. Listen, go and get your guy El Canouse. Go and do that, whatever. But if you're literally going to sit there and say you want him to play against Fredrikstad, whatever. If you're Daniel Levy, do you allow that to happen? Or if you're Daniel Levy, do you say, come on now, mate? Like, we're trying to get a deal done. And like, what happens if he gets injured? How do you play it if you're Daniel Levy in that regard?
I don't know. I think there's a balancing act there, a bit of give and take. And we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. We definitely do. One club who, is up to the shenanigans. They sold Ramsey, forced him out the club for 46 million to Newcastle, so they would have money to spend and try and meet their FFP and PSR objectives. They are now looking to add Nicholas Jackson to their shortlist, but it would be nice to see if they didn't get that player because he's now of interest to Bayern Munich. Because let's be honest, they've struggled to. There's a massive club that's struggled to land all the players that they wanted. They wanted Munich. Yeah, there's a few players that they've wanted.
And their season starts on Saturday against your club.
My club. But the one player that another player looks like he's going out the door, almost certain to go. AS Roma have agreed a fee, your club.
My club.
For Leon Bailey, a £2 million loan, right, plus a buy option. Now,
that's interesting.
Yeah, a buy option.
That's interesting.
Yeah, not
so. So that doesn't really help Aston Villa at all. Have you seen, by the way, Aston Villa's fan base? Have you seen it all over Twitter? Aston Villa's fan base once again suggesting that PSR and FFP is out there to spoil the party of the ambitious also-rans, like the Aston Villas and the Newcastle. Yeah. Like they take no accountability for the absolutely obscene overspend of their clubs, and it's to me it's absolutely insane. Just super before I come to here, McSava Raid says ghosted. Big up to you, Sava. Appreciate you, mate. I hope your streams is working better than mine. Although this stream seems to be fine, so maybe the DDoS attack is just on Spurs Talk Show today. We'll find out. What do you think? What do you think, Johnny? Are Aston Villa fans a little bit salty, or should they? Are they right to feel like if you've got ambitious owners, you should be able to do what you want?
Mate, they're salty. Look, we all know they were robbed on the last day of the season by VAR, right? No question about it. And they basically thought that they were going to get through, and they didn't. It's happened. Spurs have been on the receiving end of some ridiculous things that have happened. We've had Lasagna Gate. We've had Chelsea winning the Champions League and then stopping us going through, even though we were in the position. There's been loads of things. Shit happens. It's football. But look, you were spending 93% of your income on wages, okay, when the limit was around, 70? Was it 70% at the time? I can't remember. I think it was, what was it at the time? 70%, wasn't it? I think. You're well over the cost. You've been fine.
70% this season. It was 80% last season. It was 90% 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, but they've overcooked it. Massively. You've overcooked it. You've been fined by UEFA, right? And if you don't get your books in order, you're going to be fined again. So it's nothing to do with the Premier League only. This is to do with UEFA. You're breaking everybody's rules. So what do? Last year, you sold John Duran for a ridiculous £72 million to Saudi Arabia, to your mates in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they had no problem with that, did they? They had absolutely no issue with that shit, did
no,
they?
No. £72 million selling John Duran to Saudi, to your mates, to clear your FFP and PSR and clean it up a bit, who then 6 months later ends up in Turkey. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, Jacob Ramsey's forced out, right, to your mates in Saudi again, this time in Newcastle for a well over the top 46 million. So, no, I don't feel sorry for you. And FFP and PSR aren't out to get you. You're out to circumvent the rules. And, you know, it's holding you back. It is what it is. It's the same rules for everybody, apart from Manchester City. No.
It's all about the PSR. It's all about the FFP. It's all about the loopholes. It's all about the money.
Yeah, Johnny, I just realised, mate. It's that dancing bear. He's almost wearing Aston Villa colours. It's almost mockery before. It was coincidental, Villa fans. I didn't mean it.
It's all about the FFP and PSR. And if you don't like it, go and join another league. Listen, talk about FFP and PSR. Maybe that's why Savinho can't go, because if they let him go, they're going to have to buy Rodrigo, and they would like to buy Donnarumma. Maybe that will push them over the edge, because don't forget how much they spent in January. Don't forget how much they spent this summer. So it might be a little bit tight for them. But it'll be interesting to see, what they managed to do there. A lot of people say, why would Rodrigo want to leave Real Madrid? And Sean and I have mentioned it on this show quite a few times. It's the ego of Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Jude Bellingham and so on. So, I can't see that happening. Napoli, who were linked to just about everyone when we first started this show just under 3 months ago, were buying everybody, thought their house was in order. Then all of a sudden, Romelu Lukaku's gone down.
Yeah.
Did you see who they were linked with?
No, go on. Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
No, former Leicester striker.
Former Leicester striker. Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy.
Mate, that guy's still got a year in him, mate. That guy is still, I swear to God, maybe in Italy, that might not be a bad shout, mate. He's still got it at a slower paced league, 30 minutes, 40 minutes here and there. I don't hate it. I don't hate that. I think he's still got a bit about him, Jamie Vardy. He's super healthy, super committed, super dedicated. It's not a long-term fix, clearly, but it might not be a bad shout. Might not be a bad shout.
But he really has his heart set on a trip to Celtic to play up there.
Well, that would also be amazing, because they're about to lose that. They're about to lose that Dyson Maeda, aren't they? They're about to lose him to Maeda's all of a sudden linked with like half a dozen teams around the Prem and around Europe and things. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Jamie Vardy up in Celtic. Would be quite a cool idea.
So I mean, now they're desperate, Napoli, to fill the void. Are they desperate enough to take Rasmus Højlund on loan? It must be. You see, the thing is here with this deal, if they take Rasmus Højlund on loan, if I was Rasmus Højlund, I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. Man United don't want me. I'm going to go there. And as soon as Romelu Lukaku's back, I'll be sat on the bench and I'll not play again for the rest of the year. Yep. So I'm not sure whether, even if they come up with the loan fee, whether that would be the place to go. We got Atalanta, whether or not if they get rid of Lookman, if they don't get Muniz, then maybe they'll go for him. Then you've got RB Leipzig, who really need another striker. Now that Sesko's gone, will they take him? It's a hard one to call, to be truthful with that one.
Just super quick, mate, super quick. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's breaking news. You know the player that Tottenham were linked with, Mark Casado?
Yes, the Barcelona boy.
Yeah, Barcelona kid. Super talent. Well, apparently Barcelona didn't want to sell him. Maybe they didn't want to sell him. I can't imagine that they didn't want to sell him to a Champions League team or whatever, but he's now being linked heavily. I'm literally looking at this right now, heavily being linked with Wolverhampton Wanderers and West Ham United. Wow. I mean, both of those teams could really do with a player like that. But would be a loan deal probably. I'd imagine if anything was to happen there. But he's a super talent, that guy. Super talent. 30 million euros, apparently. Josh is saying. I've seen that. I've seen this. I'm looking at the screen.
No, listen. Sean and I have spoken about him. I think if I was him, I'd probably go to Wolves.
You've
got the Portuguese boys. I think you'll feel more at home there with that sort of vibe than the sort of the ground where you need a pair of binoculars to see what's going on. I'll never forget that game last season, Spurs West Ham away. Honestly, I felt like falling asleep watching that game. I couldn't see anything. How everyone puts up.
I've never been to that stadium, and it's the lot of all the stadiums I haven't been to. I think in the current Premier League, I've been to 15 of them. I haven't been to Sunderland. I haven't been to West Ham's new stadium. There's a couple of others I haven't been to, but I've got no interest in going to West Ham. None.
Here we go. Inter Milan are monitoring the situation of third choice Man United goalkeeper Andre Onana. He's not really dropped. He's only third choice goalkeeper, according to Ruben. I don't know what I'm talking about. Amorim, with speculation still growing over his future at Man United. Look, we said it 2.5 months. We said it. Man United, unbelievable going forward. Not a bad defense, but you've got to get rid of the goalkeeper. You need a top goalkeeper, and Saturday proved it. If Inter Milan, who struggle to sign anybody right now, have they got the money to sign Onana? I'm not sure. There was rumours that Onana could go to Monaco earlier on in the season, in the transfer window, so I'm not sure. But it's now saying that Inter will now meet Ademola Lookman's agents within the next 24 hours to confirm the deal is off, as talks with Atlanta have been frozen for 2 weeks. The move was never tied to Nikola Zalewski, says Fabrizio Romano. I can't understand this one, because this is what we're talking about deals. There's no guarantee. It looked, for all sense and purposes, that he was bound for Inter Milan, Lookman. For weeks it was going on. And now at the final hurdle, it's all falling apart. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, do what you got to do. You know what you got to do. Hit that.
Appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Sava, as well, mate. Thank you very much for the redirect. There's 1,200 people here, guys. We've got loads more to talk about. We've been going for 47 minutes. But this stream might be the longest stream ever, Johnny, because we've got loads and loads more.
Yeah, can I just say, right? If you're here for the first time, guys, please hit the subscribe button. Just under 3 months old, and we're already over 4,500. Unbelievable growth. Thanks very much. Couldn't do it without you. But if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, guys, so you can make your comments in the chat and tell us who you support and tell us where you're from. Go on, Shawnee.
Have you seen Sunderland aren't done, mate? They're not done. They're not done. They're about to move for Getafe. Well, this guy is super versatile, by the way. I only stumbled across him tail end of last season. 22-year-old. So bear that in mind. He's big, strong. He's fast. His name is Kristantos Uche, Getafe forward. He's already scored a goal and an assist in his one game this season. Sunderland looking to add some more value. I'm just going through his stats, looking at
Did you say Uche?
No, I didn't say Kuche. If you cancelled, I said Uche. Kristantos Uche.
Uche.
He got 4 goals last year in La Liga for Getafe, 6 assists, but he was playing primarily as an AM last season. He's now getting moved a little bit more forward as a striker or centre forward, but he has played minutes as a second, as like a left-sided 8, if you like, a left wing forward. He's played in the AM, the support striker, and the centre forward. I haven't seen a lot of him. I'm sure Foxy's going to come in and let us know where he grew up and the fact that his when he was 14 years old, he was signed by someone, Barcelona's 14th team or something, because we know Foxy loves loves the story and he's brilliant at it. But Kristantos Uche, I don't know enough about him, but from what I've seen, he looks like a handful, and he's certainly someone that's got a hell of a lot of growth in him. And I'm just more than the player, I'm more impressed with Sunderland's window than anybody else's. I think they've come up. Who owns Sunderland, mate? Do we know? Are you familiar with who owns Sunderland?
It's an American group. Shawnee, I don't want to come out, but can we talk about our other teams, mate. I've got to bring you some news.
Okay, we're going to do that then. Just wait a second.
It's that time once again. It's time to check in. We're going round the world to all our second teams.
Yeah, great result for you last night, Shawnee.
100%.
LJ won, Real Betis won.
We did it.
Goal. German Valera.
I said yesterday, newly promoted teams that play at home on their curtain raiser, you're always worth having a little bit of money on them to do a thing or two about a thing or two. And my boys did it. Elche till I die.
It wasn't.
Elche till I do.
It was Germans. German Valera. German Valera. Here we go. Stephen Wilson's fallen asleep. Never mind German. Never mind Stephen. It's obviously not for you. Yeah, so 1-1. Got off to a good start, Sean.
Yeah, happy with that, mate. Happy with that. But yeah, listen, my boys, you know, they know what to get a cheeky point against Betis. I mean, Betis haven't got the final deal done yet on their main outlet, Anthony, on the right hand side. So, you know, it was a good time to play them, mate. It's a good time to play them. Playing at home, first game is exactly what you want, and I'm delighted with the result. Delighted with the boys, and yeah, all we got to do, mate, is get a couple of wins under our belt, and we'll stay up. We'll become a part of the ever ready, ever present La Liga. How do you get on?
Yeah, my guys, Athletic Club, Athletic Bilbao won, beat Sevilla 3-2. We'll have a look at the other clubs probably tomorrow because we got these other things to do. But we're keeping an eye out. And what's name's club?
Who was the what? Sorry. David Blair saying, Sean, stop with the catchy jingles. They're getting in my head. What was the question, Johnny? Sorry.
What did the viewers get? What club did they get? Was it Valencia?
Valencia.
Yeah, they drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad. So that's that. Right. Okay. Where are we going to go next?
Well, I want to get back to the Premier League transfers for a second, mate. Brian Hill is. We should have brought this into the Turkey segment that we just finished, but he has been linked with Fenerbahce again. Conversations are ongoing. So Fabio Paratici, that was trying to get that deal done for Bologna, well, that hasn't materialised. However, Paratici is not a man that likes to take a relationship and drag it down. So if Brian Hill was going to go to Bologna and that's ended up not being the case, and he's going to Fenerbahce, what other player in Tottenham's current squad, Johnny, do you think that Bologna might have turned their attention to in the last 24 hours that fits the same sort of profile as a Brian Hill, by the way, that maybe surplus the requirements?
Dane Scarlett?
No. Manor Solomon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They ain't got the money for that. They haven't got the money. They'll want 25 million. I can't see.
You think 25 million for Solomon?
25 million, yeah. Yeah, look, he scored. Look how many goals and assists he got in the Championship last year. It's got to be worth. He's no less than 15 million. Definitely not.
How old is Manor Solomon now?
24, 25.
He's still young, isn't he? Still young.
Yeah. 25.
Jordan's asking if I bet. Mate, I'm a man with many vices. Many vices. Too many vices. You know? So chances are, if you're ever going to ask a question about do I do something, the answer is probably yes, mate.
He's into vices. Sean's into vices that he didn't know there were vices for at the moment. But I'm sure
someone in yesterday's stream put in a comment, Johnny, saying, Sean, have you ever sought help for your drinking problem? I didn't bring it up, but I wanted to go, who said it's a fucking problem? I really enjoy it.
What else have you got there, Shawnee?
We got loads, mate. We got loads going on. So I've done the Mark Casado story. Chelsea apparently do not want to pay, according to Jacobs. We spoke about Alejandro Garnacho. You said earlier, why isn't it happening? Well, Jacob Steinberg, who's a football reporter for The Guardian, is saying that Chelsea don't want to pay 50 million quid for the man at this stage. And I think they're right, by the way. I think they're absolutely right to not have to pay it. But has Garnacho and Xavi Simons rested on their laurels a little bit, expecting that the Chelsea guys are just going to do what is necessary to bring them in. Just because Garnacho said, yeah, I'm all about Chelsea, even though I don't really understand why, given the competition. Are Chelsea right to be sitting there saying, well, look, your boy might want to come to us, but
they're going to leave him at the gate.
He's not worth 50 million quid.
Listen, the guys behaved terribly, right? Garnacho. They're going to leave him at the garden gate. You know, he sat there all season. I'm going to Chelsea. I'm going to Chelsea. Oh, are you really? What? You know that for sure, do you? There's no fee agreed. There's nothing agreed. He's standing outside the gate, or probably in his car, right, down at Stamford Bridge, waiting for the call, right, to hop in and sign the deal. And if they leave him there at the midnight hour, where does that leave Man United? Where does that leave Ruben Amorim? Does he leave him out? I don't know. I don't think Spurs are cheeky bid, do you?
Listen, mate, you know how I feel. You know how I feel about it. At this stage, unfortunately, when expectations have been set around Savio levels, suddenly anything less than that, like I said earlier, right? I just feel like if Savio's off, and apparently Balogun is like doubling down, saying it's definitely off. And look, he was the first one yesterday to mention the fact that there was a cop block in the situation. There was a fly in the ointment, or whatever the phrase is. And he looks like he's right, because everyone is now saying the same thing. So if he's now moved that forward and saying it's definitely off, then okay, move on. But where do you move to? Same question, mate. Where does Tottenham move to whereby you can still attract the same level of quality, where you don't have that additional variable,
deadline
which is
day deal, Sean. It smells of a deadline day. Here we go.
Garnacho.
Garnacho. And here we saw him sneaking out behind a Vauxhall Cortina at the back seat.
Right at the side of his cheek. Yeah. But Johnny, I think was it you that said yesterday? I forget. I streamed so much yesterday. Was it you that said now that he's committed to Chelsea, you're not interested anymore? Was it you said that?
No, it wasn't. But I just think that, look, he's made no bones about it. He has a no dickhead policy. Whether Garnacho's changed as a personality bypass in the summer, and he's now a reasonable guy, I don't know. But if Chelsea dump him at the Garden Gate, that's going to be a kick in the teeth for Man United and Garnacho. Chelsea don't care. They got another 47 players to look at. So while we're at that level, Leander Dendoncker, that well-known Aston Villa player, he's gone to Spain to join Real Oviedo in a permanent transfer.
Do you want to know the funniest thing, mate? On that Aston Villa fan last night that went mental about FFP and PSR. Yeah. And this is interesting. Sorry, mate. I'm going to press pause on this story because you know what? This is going to piss you off, I think, mate. But I'm going to tell you right now. But of course, when it comes to Tottenham, there's never a shortage of this.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, it's my source.
So Himothy, who rates himself as an ITK, claiming a lot of things. Have you seen this, mate? He's just said the stumbling block for Tottenham's move for Eze is currently Eze's agent. They are messing around and demanding more bonuses and agent fees last second. Should be resolved in the coming hours. If so, Eze to Spurs will be a done deal today, as club talks are fully done. Spurs want it done today. He said, I've heard it from someone who's close to Eze's side. Should I respond to that and go, you don't know what you're talking about?
No, I'm not even going to, excuse my fucking French. I'm not even going to. Get him, Johnny. I'm not even going to. Yeah, someone close to his side. Let me tell you, no one's closer to his agent and him are like that. Okay. So honestly, I'm not even. Himothy heard it through the grapevine. Yeah. Not interested.
Where is he? I'm going to get this on the screen so everyone can see it. I don't know why I'm giving the guy airtime, but content's got a content, I guess. But this is what the guy's saying. Can you see on the screen? Can you see on the screen? Here we go. The stumbling block. Oh, I just called it out. But there you go. Timothy is claiming that apparently your mate is a problem, Johnny. What a fucking idiot!
Not listen, honestly, well, it didn't say. Listen, the agents are CAA, so I'd be careful what he says.
Yeah,
they're not exactly a small organisation, Sean.
No, I know. Yeah, so I'm sort of putting two and two together. I'm not saying your mate specifically. Well, I'm just saying
I can't go. I'm not going to sit here.
I know.
I'm not going to go and jeopardise.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the same Timothy that says it's all done and dusted, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
And said that it's out. The same Timothy that said he's going to Arsenal. Yeah. Okay.
Same guy.
Just for clarity. Can I just talk about a proper bit?
Sorry, before you do, so I just want to finish that Dendoncker story. Just quickly about Dendoncker. So the guy that was losing his mind about Aston Villa's FFP thing, right? Someone put in a comment saying, and he's like, "We don't overspend, we're just ambitious." And someone said, if Dendoncker was in Tottenham's team, he'd be the third highest wage earner. We don't overspend on salaries. Leon Dendoncker is how much was that? He must be getting paid over 100 grand a week then by that. But if that's true, I don't know. I haven't verified it. But Dendoncker, he's a Dendonut, mate. What are we doing here?
Not even. The people are off their heads. Listen, a deal confirmed in the last hour. Another deal for another promoted team who are really going for it. Leeds have agreed. Leeds have agreed an 18 million deal for AC Milan's Okafor.
Good player.
Yeah, from AC Milan. Leeds United have agreed a deal with AC Milan for the permanent signing of Noah Okafor. The total package is understood to be worth around 18 million, including add-ons. Let's be serious, right? I think Rangers fans and Leeds fans were all watching each other to see would the 49ers group spend more money at Leeds than they did at Rangers. Right now, they're definitely spending more money at Leeds United than Glasgow Rangers. But should Glasgow Rangers beat Club Brugge tonight and next week, I think you'll see some last-minute purchases and splurges for Rangers because they'll have the Champions League money. But Leeds really do mean business at the moment. You mentioned Villarreal talks to sign Chelsea's Veiga. You've done that one already.
We haven't done that. We haven't done that. That was in the title. So Villarreal it's basically done, right?
Yeah.
And this is the question for you, mate. Like Renato Veiga is he's a left back, left-sided centre back, or a 6, primarily a centre back. Why would Chelsea sell him when they've just lost Colehill? Why would they do that unless they have got another name lined up behind it? Because Colehill's out for months, like most of the season. He's done the same injury as Maddison's got, right? So he'll be out for the majority of the season. So Chelsea surely must have a centre-back lined up if they're willing to let the Veiga deal go. Or maybe they just don't rate Veiga, but he's a better fit for the Villarreal and the money's worth it. I don't know what the cost is going to be, but it's insane, isn't it? It's like Tottenham losing Richarlison to a knee injury and then selling Solanke.
But look, we know they're not a football club; they're a trading company, and that's why we call them eBay FC, because buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy cheap, sell high, and that's what they are, like a stock company. But they keep on, they keep on doing it, and they keep on getting away with it.
We shall see.
Well, listen, one player they're still trying to get rid of is the old boy himself, Raheem Sterling. They want to move him on and 8 other players in the transfer window before it shuts. I mean, they've got so many players there. They need to get them out. We spoke about Nkunku. We've gone through all of the Chelsea players that need removed from the club right now. So, I don't know. Raheem Sterling, I mean, he's not even of interest to clubs that have just come up. No one's bidding for him. Is he going to go last minute on loan, do you think?
Yeah, where to though? Where to? I'm not sure, mate. I don't know. Like, would he go to a Fulham, something like that? Fulham could do with him, couldn't they?
Fulham could do with everybody. They've not bought anybody. I mean, they're literally, and with Muniz looking like he could be gone, they're going to have a bit of trouble. I do notice actually on Sky Sports that 2 hours ago they announced that the Eze deal has not been agreed as Spurs talks continue, contrary to what everyone else was going. Here we go, on the IT case. So interesting to see what happens there. West Ham. Mate, while we're on this talk of Chelsea. West Ham are eyeing Chelsea's Andre Santos as a midfield option. It depends what Chelsea want to do with him because they've got him on a long-term contract. He's a central midfielder. He had a storming season last year at Strasbourg, which is where all Chelsea's that's where Chelsea is storing all of their players. He got into Ancelotti's first Brazil team. That's how good he was.
Yeah, wow.
But he's playing for Brazil. And he came off the bench in Ancelotti's first game. So this is a big season for him. Now Brazil have problems in central midfield. And Andre Santos is appearing as perhaps a solution. But he's got that problem at Chelsea. With them stockpiling so many players, he has to get ahead of either Moses Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez to even get just a game. And not only, what's his name, Lavia as well. There's also been interest from West Ham, who look like they're trying to move on Addison Alvarez. Do you think a player like Andre Santos would be willing to go there on loan for a season at West Ham just to get the minutes, link up with Paquetá, just so that he could maybe get into the team? A bit like Savinho.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think there's probably a lot of players right now that are chomping at the bit to get minutes, that don't necessarily want to go somewhere long term. But the year leading up to a World Cup, it offers opportunities for smaller teams to get some talent on loan. Because if those guys are cop blocked by better competition in and around the clubs that they currently work for, then I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think what you're saying there does make sense. I'm not sure if it will be West Ham necessarily, but I think there's a logic to the argument, mate. 100%.
I mean, look, Chelsea are just buying up every single young talent. Like, it's as simple as that. And, they're far more. Strasbourg, I would be keeping an eye on them next season, or this season, should I say. I mean, he was outstanding for them. Needs game time. Maybe he can do better. We shall see. We shall see. But, Chelsea just having a crazy abundance of talent. I haven't even mentioned the Ecuadorian kid that they have. He's another one, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, they've got loads. And they've got like 3 or 4 more coming in for massive money next year. They've already paid like 50 million quid for a guy out of Portugal. I forget which club he's from. That's coming in next in 2026. It's madness. Just quickly, mate, have you seen this story? Marseille manager Roberto De Zerbi no longer wants Adrien Rabiot at the club.
No shot there.
This decision comes after the fight between Rabiot and Jonathan Rowe.
Listen, let me tell you something. His mum is his manager. And, I mean, honestly, this guy is a pothole, mate. He's a pothole, for sure, in my opinion. Don't you think?
100%. Just trying to find the...
You better watch out for the pothole, 'cause it's something to avoid. Don't ignore all his issues. Don't ignore all the noise.
Yeah, still wear clear, mate. There's one player you just don't want to go anywhere near.
Everywhere he goes, there's trouble.
Yeah, everywhere.
He's a mummy boy.
And his mum's right there, always there behind him. It's true. When you got your mum as a manager, picking up all your bloody mess that you leave behind you. Another one, great talent, unbelievable talent, but unfortunately,
unbelievable player when he wants to be.
His head's all over the place. If he concentrated on football. Ange Ball says Paqueta is a proper pothole. For me, no. Or on his day, I'm not so sure. Here's one for you, an interesting one. So, Palace are finalising a deal for sporting director Matt Hobbs to take a similar role to replace Dougie Freeman at Crystal Palace, because they haven't really replaced him there. And yet, as soon as that's happened, Palace are suddenly interested in Hwang Hee-chan, the striker, because let's be honest, Eddie Nketiah hasn't really set the ground running. Mateta's been fantastic under Glasner, but Nketiah has been, £30 million almost thrown down the drain.
Yeah, Hwang's amazing, and think about all of the Koreans that will come over to see him.
Yeah, so you're saying he's not a Hwanker? He's a
not
good
Hwanker.
player.
No, he's definitely not, mate. He's definitely not. He's a money spinner as well. He's a money spinner, But then Wolves will probably bake that into the price. He's a very good player, Hwang. Very good player. Last season or season before last, he was absolutely phenomenal. He scored like 12, 13 goals, I think. He was very, 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 very good player.
Tell me what happened. Do we know what happened? Do we know what happened with Victor, the Botafogo goalkeeper? Because it looked, for all intents and purposes, he was on his way. If you don't know Victor, he's a giant of a keeper. He was on his way to West Ham. And then all of a sudden, last minute, the deal was off. I don't know what I don't know what happened there with the keeper. Is he?
Well, he's still on the Manchester United are looking at him still. West Ham are looking at him. I think it'll come. I think he'll end up at West Ham now, isn't he? It's mid-season, right?
Yeah, but I if I was him, would you be going there? I wouldn't. I wouldn't be going to West Ham. Too much messing around, mate.
Yeah. I think that West Ham are just an absolute mess, and I think it's because I don't know who's in charge over there right now. Like Graham Potter looks spicy.
Aaron Brady, probably.
Is she? She's not. Is she involved still?
Yeah, she's still involved,
but she's not an owner.
Let me tell you, while we're talking about potholes, Garnacho has been left out of the Argentinian squad.
Yeah,
rightly so.
Well, when are Argentina playing?
Well, I don't know, but he's been left out of the squad. Tim Vickery. It's almost certainly has impacted his spot in the Argentinian squad. Argentina called up a pre-list yesterday for those 2 rounds of World Cup qualifiers. Echeverri is in. Garnacho is out.
Now, this is a very, very good player. That guy,
very good player.
He's just got his move as well, hasn't he? Echeverri. Where did he go to?
Did he go to their sister club, Man City's sister club?
He went to. It's just literally happened today, hasn't it?
Did he?
Leverkusen
on
loan deal. Yeah.
He was looked at other by Borussia Dortmund made an offer as well on him, but no, he's gone to Leverkusen, so that's a good deal for him. 2 games they've got back to back. Let's hope that our man Cuti Romero isn't it. Sean, let's have a look at the scores predictions from last week.
It's a good time to the predictions.
Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses, and draws. Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses, and draws.
All right, gentlemen, this is where we catch up on everything that happened over the weekend, and we'll sort of we'll do a couple of minutes on each game, but we're obviously going to be figuring out who scored and who got the points. Remember, it's 3 points for a correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, but the wrong scoreline, 0 points if anything else has happened. And we all predicted a player to get points, and if they scored in that game, then you'll get 3 points for every goal and 1 point if they got an assist. I think. I'm not sure. No, sure. I don't think we said that about the assist. So it's just 3 points per goal. And we're going to talk about it right now. So, Johnny, let's go. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. I said 4-0. You said 3-0, and the chat that was handled by via Blaine, big up to Blaine Devlin, my man, Super Spurs TV, he also said 4-0. The actual result was 4-2.
What a game. What a game that was. I mean, honestly, Bournemouth with, 3 of their defenders gone, Katara gone, their 2 centre-backs, Hoyson and Zabani gone, Kirkes gone, bringing Trosser and another young player. And they gave Liverpool a proper game until Ekitike took the lead with a great goal. Cody Gakpo made it 2-0. Looked like they were running away with it, but you can't hold back Antonio Semenyo, who was unbelievable. It came back to 2-2. It looked like Liverpool were in the mud, just like we predicted on here. If you've been watching these shows, we have said over and over again, Liverpool is susceptible at the back. They must get Mark Gahey or another signing. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. But who pops up? Hardly kicked a ball since he's been there. Chiesa with a beautiful finish to make it 3-2. And the man who always scores on the opening day of the season, Mohamed the Hitman Salah, with a beautiful goal in the 94th minute to make it 4-2. Rather flattered Liverpool, don't you think?
Yeah. Look, I think Liverpool were comfortable 2-0 up, took their foot off the gas. And look, that's like you say, Semenyo was just absolutely extraordinary. Got them back in the game. And then when he got into 2-2, you're thinking Bournemouth are fair value here. And this is a team that we all thought we're going to get sucked into a relegation battle. But in the end, mate, Liverpool at home. When was the last time? I think it's been like 7 years or some crazy number since they went 2-0 up at home and lost the game, or even drew the game. So yeah, look, Liverpool got. I'm not saying they got away with one. I think the quality told in the end, but certainly their defence, as you were saying, mate. I think at times during that game, Canate and especially him, but Virgil van Disney as well, both of them at times looked absolutely bereft of positional astuteness and awareness. So it's something to watch, mate. And I think that the story out about Gahey's close to getting done. I think they've agreed terms, but they're still waiting for the Palace thing to figure itself out. Palace obviously, busy with 100 things going on right now. So we shall see. But I think Liverpool definitely need some support. And if Bournemouth can just get a couple of centre-backs in themselves, because they've had their entire defence ransacked, then they might be okay. But Semenyo is a powerful player and a brilliant decision from them to be able to convince him to sign a new contract. So we all got the right prediction. So that's 1 point each. But for what it's worth, the 3 names that we picked, I picked Ekitike. He didn't score. You picked Liam Delap. And Blaine picked Salah. So picked
Ekitike, he scored. What do you mean?
Did Ekitike score as well?
What do you mean?
I forget. I've got so much in my head. Did he score? Did he? Okay. So I get +3.
Hang on. You get for an assist 1 point, right? So 3 for a goal and 1 for the assist. So that's 4 points extra you get for that.
4 points extra for me.
Yeah.
And Salah didn't get an assist, no?
Didn't get an assist, but he got a goal.
Okay. So I'm on 5 points. Grata-ta-ta. 5 points from the first game. Love to see it. Blaine is obviously... I've got a lot going on in my head. Pash Patel. Don't call me a muppet, you bozo. That was Friday, mate. I'm grateful if I can remember what happened 5 minutes ago. What happened 5 days ago.
Right, let's move on to the next game. Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. And Sean's wrapping it up at the moment. Well, Eze Konsa sent off in the 66th minute after stupidly bringing down Anthony Gordon as the last man. But let's be honest, Newcastle created a lot of chances, and had Alexander Isak been there, I think Newcastle would have 100% finished them off. But it wasn't to be. And it turned out a 0-0 draw.
0-0 draw. Yeah, I to be honest, mate, I only saw the highlights and I've seen the reaction. Didn't feel like either team, from what I've seen from the fan bases, were particularly impressed. And but like, not a bad result for both teams, right? Villa's a difficult place to go. Always has been the last couple of years. Newcastle, a very difficult team to break down. Not surprised really that it was a close game, and that's why I picked the draw. And I'm 5 points from 2. You're on 1 point, and the chat is on 4 points. So yeah, listen, this is the tale that we started. How we mean to continue here, mate. Let's move on to Brighton versus Fulham.
Here's one. Here's one. Matt O'Reilly penalty, and Brighton had numerous chances to bury this game, and I really thought they were going to bury it. And along comes the man who wants out the club, Rodrigo Muniz, to score literally last kick of the game, 97th minute, to break Brighton's hearts there, because they should have won this game. They should have been out of sight, in my opinion. But you got to finish your dinner, and unfortunately they didn't. So they go on to draw the game. You had it down as 3-1. I had it as 2-1. And the chat got the score correct, Sean.
Sorry, you had it down as 2. I've written that down incorrectly. So you were 2-0. The chat got it bang on. So they've got 3 points from that. So it's currently 5 points to me, 1 point to Johnny, 5 points to the chat. It's a long season, mate. It's a long season. Don't worry, Johnny.
Listen, I'm all right. I'm all right. Here's the game. I know I got this result right.
No, you got the result right, but you didn't get the scoreline right.
No, yeah, but Sean, you did, didn't you?
No, I said 2-0. It was 3-0.
So who? Oh, 3. Sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah, that's it. Sorry,
I thought it was going to be a. I think we all agreed it was going to be Sunderland at home against a terrible West Ham team, promoted team playing at home, first game of the season with their unbelievable window so far. And look, the new guys didn't disappoint. Those that started didn't disappoint. Sunderland dominated them. West Ham looked absolutely atrocious, Johnny. Absolutely shambolic.
I've got to tell you, Granit Xhaka, right? We said it on here. There's a signing. There's a signing. They look. Sunderland were trying to sign Dean. What's his name? Henderson, right? He didn't come, and they ended up, luckily for them, signing Granit Xhaka. And I said he will be the best signing that Sunderland will make all season, without any doubt. All the signings they made, and he was a 9, basically a 9 out of 10. Mayenda, again, also up front, was absolutely superb. Granit Xhaka, if they can keep Granit Xhaka fit this season, I think they'll stay up. They mean business, and they've got some serious players there. West Ham, though, absolutely in the mud. No surprise there. Let's move on to the next one.
Just quickly. So at this stage, I am on 7 points. Johnny is on 2 points.
How are you on 7? You only got 1 for that.
I got 1 for that, 1 for the 2-2, the draw, and then 5 for the first game. Right. So 5.6. I'm on 7 points. Blaine is on. The chat is on 8 points, and you are on 2 points. So I screwed up with my mental arithmetic.
Yeah,
Not even mental. It's written down.
Right. Okay.
I just read it wrong. Spurs Burnley 3-0, mate. 3-0. I went 2-0. You went 2-0. So did Blaine and the chat. So that's 1 point apiece. Talk to me about the game, mate. Very quickly. Spurs were lucky not to concede. I thought 14 attempts on goal. You can't allow Manchester City to do that. But Richarlison and Kudus were the standouts. Kudus with his assists. Richarlison with a fantastic first goal, which didn't get enough credit because the ball was behind him. The incredible second goal, 17 passes touched by everyone, and that beautiful scissor kick. And winning the ball in the middle of the park for that third to set Papassar off on his way to set Brennan Johnson free for the third goal. Fantastic performance, great opening start. It was against Burnley. They're going to have problems. They are going to have problems, yeah, 100%. But I thought they played okay in the second stages. After we went 1-0 up, I thought they came back into the game pretty okay in the first half. But then second half, the quality showed. So again, 1 point apiece makes us 8 versus 3 versus 9. The chat is in the lead. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Blaine Devlin for his unbelievable predictions. But he has used Salah, by the way. So the chat, the next this Thursday or Friday, whoever's going to be representing the chat, you can't use Salah again. That's the rules. Them the rules. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. I went 3-1. Johnny went 3-0 close. Blaine went 3-1. Wolves couldn't handle them, mate. Couldn't handle them.
Reinders was absolutely superb, mate. What a player he is. That could be one of the best signings of the season. Haaland looks like he's back, mate. Looks like he's back. 2 goals.
2 goals, yeah.
Cherky comes on. We all know what we think about him. You and I, big fans of Ryan Cherky. They're going to be a real threat this season. I don't think they're going to be the team we saw last season. That's for sure. I think we're going to see a different version of Man City. That's if they can keep Haaland free. Yeah, convincing win, 4-0.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just smashed them off the park. 4-0 away from home. First game. Just what Pep wants. By the way, guys, we're halfway through this. As soon as it's done, we're going to be taking a look at the FPL, which is 400 people that participated. So we're showing the early. We're going to be embarrassing a few people, and we're going to be looking at a few absolute. I don't know if everyone who's going to. Maybe everyone that's in there is watching. There's still 850 people. So hang around, guys. Hang around, and please smash the like button if you haven't already. We don't ask too often, I hope, but it's important to remind everyone we're trying to get those numbers up and smash the subscribe as well. So we're currently on, so that's 9 points to me, 4 points to Johnny, 10 points to Blaine in the chat. What are we saying for this one here, mate? Forest 3, Brentford 1. Johnny's back in the game. Johnny absolutely smashed it out of the park there, mate. 3 points for you, 1 point for me, and 1 point for Blaine. Talk to me, Johnny. What happened with, Brentford? Poor Brentford. Forest.
I knew I was having a bad scoring round. I knew that I needed to pull something back here. So whilst I was having a bite to eat the 2:00 games, I was hoping on hope that it stayed that way, and so it did. And I was very happy. At halftime, it looked like there was going to be a rout with Forest. It could have been about 5-0, but no. Chris Wood again. Listen, Forest dominated some bad defending. They're going to need to get their shit together. Dan and Doy looks good. Chris Wood back to his usual. I mean, that guy's just evergreen, isn't he? Chris Wood, evergreen. Just keep banging them in.
Like a bit like Jamie Vardy, isn't he? If you can put the ball in the right spot for him, the guy knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, and he's a handful, mate. He's a handful, and he's not someone that's ever relied on his pace. So there's no reason to think that he can't just carry on doing it if Forest play to his strengths, which is something that Nuno has always said he does. He'll whatever team he has, he knows what he wants, but he also knows the best things of what he has. And Forest are in good hands, man. And they've got an owner. As much as I can't stand the fella, he backs. He's got ambitions, and fair play to him. It's all got very tight there. 10 points, 11 points to the chat, 10 points to Sean, and Johnny's back in it. 7 points. It's all very, very, very tight indeed, ladies and gentlemen. The next game is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Oh, sorry, Chelsea versus Palace rather. And Johnny gets another point here, and Blaine and Sean screw it up. Well done, Johnny. Explain to me why you thought Palace were going to nick something, and they did. Congratulations.
I just felt that they were solid enough defensively, although it sounds ridiculous I made them 2-2, because I just thought that they would give as good as they get. And let's be honest, that sort of 1 metre rule was a bit of a joke, if you ask me, for Eberici Eze's goal. I thought Sanchez could have done a bit better with it. I think in the end, it was a fair result. Usual Cucurella played well, did well. Gittins started, played well. Listen, I suppose the only one who I was expecting to see, and I put him in as my player to score this weekend was.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you for calling that out. Nil point on Liam Delap.
0 point. 0 point. Okay, on to the next.
Mate, if it wasn't for Ekitike and for Salah, we'd be all square.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you know what? You've used Liam Delap. You've still got Ekitike to use later on in the season.
yeah.
And the chat haven't got Salah to use. So I think you're actually in a really
Well,
strong
we'll
position.
see now. It could have been worse. Could have had Goalkeeper. Talking of which, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Sean, you
I
got
get
it.
the point.
Yeah,
The
you
chat
get
gets the point. Johnny, you went for a draw.
Yeah, I went for a draw. And let's be honest, if it had not been for that shocking goalkeeper, isn't it? Taylor, 2 goalkeepers, one absolutely shocking and Raya absolutely outstanding with 2 fantastic saves. And Man United's counter-attacking looks fantastic. They're going to cause teams a lot of trouble. And Buemo, Cunha, I mean, I can't say much about Sesko. Ahmad came on. Bruno Fernandes looking a lot more confident. The Man United players looks absolutely gutted they lost the game at the end of it, and rightly so. It was ugly. Let's be honest. It was ugly. But someone has to win ugly. And it's not how you win, it's the winning. So it is what it is. Right.
Yeah, I feel like Man United versus Arsenal. I feel like it was. I don't know how to explain it. Like I think the Man United fans, or even Amorim, embarrassing afterwards when he said, "We've shown today that we can beat any team in the world." How have you shown that? You lost to Arsenal. This guy, as much as he might be a superb tactician, Johnny, as much as he might have had sensational success, I think the guy needs a serious education in communication, because it's laughable. You lose 1-0 to a team that you've outperformed, and you say, well, what you can learn from this is that we can beat anybody. Well, no, you can't. You can't. You haven't beaten anybody.
Listen, I'm not going to say. I just thought that I thought they played very well. I mean, I'm not going to say they didn't. I thought they played very well indeed. Arsenal have the best defence in the Premier League and probably one of the best top 3 defences in the whole of Europe. And I thought they played very, very well in comparison to where they've been for the last 18 months. I thought that was a great performance.
Yeah, same. But they didn't get the points, and Arsenal did. And it's, at the end of the day, points that matters. I'm talking about points that matters on that one. So I got a point. So I'm now on 11. And the chat have also got a point there on 12. And Johnny stays on 8. So there's a 4-point spread here between everybody. Last game of the weekend, Leeds 1, Everton 0, an 88th minute penalty. Had it not been for that, I'd have got an extra point. So would Blaine. So the penalty saved you, mate, because you went for an Everton victory. They didn't look great, to be honest. Everton, they didn't look sensational in their opening game. But Leeds at home, first game of the season, never bet against a promoted team first game of the season.
That was a bit of a rogue bet by me. I don't know what I was quite thinking, because I've been bigging up Leeds, but I've also been bigging up Everton, and got that one totally wrong. But that's the chat for the week. Shall we go straight into? Let's go straight into the fantasy football. Let's quickly have a quick look at. Let's have a look at the fantasy football. I think a Portuguese guy, is top of the pops. It looks like he could be a Porto fan.
You know what? In order to do this, I'm going to have to just jump out of the stream super quick, mate. Just give me 1 second, and let me come back in. Okay, 1 sec.
Let's check, see the news, see if there's any news while Sean is doing that.
Why this is being a problem.
Let's have a look, see if there's anything else. Yeah, Manchester United winger Garnacho has turned down Bayern Munich, according to Sky Sports 15 minutes ago. Bayern Munich getting turned down by so many players right now. The Argentinian international wants to sign for Chelsea and only Chelsea. So that one's in the mud. And one I mentioned a bit earlier, Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers has declined to comment on reports linking Jamie Vardy with a move to Parkhead. Vardy is a free agent after leaving Leicester at the end of last season, and reports on Monday claimed that 38-year-old striker had his heart set on a move to Celtic. I just think at 38 years of age, maybe that's wishful thinking. I know the Scottish League's a bit slow, but yeah, I mean, I've lost count how many players they've tried to sign. They wanted Wirtz. They looked at Xavi Simons. They looked at Voltemade from Stuttgart. They put in about 4 bids for him. That hasn't happened. And bearing in mind that they've got rid of Sane and they got rid of Matthias Tell, and they got a bad injury. So I wonder where they're going to go next. They must be getting a bit desperate, I would say, from where they are now. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like. And if you are here for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Tell us who you support and where you're from.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, buddy. That's all right.
Let's try again.
Where are you?
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
I'm just looking for the.
Here we go. We got the fantasy football current setup. Let me get it on the screen.
Here we go.
Let me get rid of this.
And I think it's a guy from Porto who supports Porto. What's his name there?
Hang on, I'm about to zoom in.
He had a fantastic week. What a fantastic week he had. It's very, very close at the top. I think he did a bench boost.
You did a bench boost already?
Yeah, where are you going?
Early doors. Hang on, I'm here trying to. Is it on there?
No, you just had it back. You just had him on. You just had him on.
Here we go. Number 1 is FC Porto. Come on, you Spurs 2025. Vitor Mariano. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah.
Yeah. Click on his team. Look at his team. He's had a great day.
What's his team looking like? Any copies necessary?
Did he do bench boost? I'm not sure. Just check at the top. It will tell you if he's done a bench boost.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, did the bench boost.
But what he hit everything. He hit absolutely everything.
Frimpong wasn't ain't really sensational.
Oh, Frimpong, hang on a second. Frimpong got taken off. If you had Frimpong, you can feel a bit gutted because he went off with 59 minutes and 30 seconds. He went off 30 seconds away from getting 6 points in a clean sheet.
Let's see if we can find. So you got Haaland done as well. Congratulations to him. I want to go back to the league. I want to see if we can find. First of all, whereabouts are you, Johnny?
I'm 100. I think I'm 175, 61, 175. I'll tell you.
I'm 198th. I got 59 points. You're a couple of points ahead of me.
I got 61 points. I got 61 points.
You've beaten me. Damn it.
Yes, early doors.
Early doors. You need to put Haaland. This is my team right now. Haaland got 13. If I put him as captain, I'm right up there. I went for Mo Salah. He got me a point. I should have had Ekitike in. Cherky. I've done okay. Everyone's got me a point. There's no one that's like completely mugged me off. Where are you, mate?
I am, I think 175. Let me just check. I think I'm 175, and then you can hang on. I shall tell you. Fantasy. Here we go.
There's a lot of people, isn't there? A lot of people in this.
Yeah, I think I'm 175. Let's find me. Let me find me. I think I'm 107. No, 100. I'm 191. Sorry,
191.
Carlos Kickable.
There he is. What's your squad looking like? Kelleher in goal. Madness. Van der Ven. Nice. Frimpong. How many more points would you say? Because I remember you moaning to me about this.
Yeah, another 5 points.
Another 5 points. Kukurea. Kudos. Nice spot. Well done. Salah, captain. Florian Wirtz. Cole Palmer. Rangers. Oh, you got him as well. Well done. João Pedro. And you put this boy in. You put the donut of all donuts in.
That man in. Yeah. That man, the guy who can't pass McDonald's without popping in. My God. I mean, listen, I don't know what I was thinking of. I mean, I
you got 60 points. You had a point taken away of you after the fact.
Maybe I had 61 before. I don't know. Maybe something happened. It was
scooting through. Anyone want to embarrass themselves? Let's see who's bottom of the list, shall we? Let's have a look at this. Let's go to the bottom bottom of the table. Let's see if we know anybody in the chat who's
Let me
currently.
tell you something. My other son, who forgot to do his team, had 28 points, and I told him this morning he brought shame on the family. But I think he some of the players he had on his bench because his player didn't come out. What's the lowest score?
The lowest score is 27.
Whew.
Which is 399. I'm pretty sure I know Robert Bullmore. I'm sure I've seen this name before. I'm pretty sure Fiona might be the lady who did the video of me and Daniel, the AI video of me and Daniel Levy kissing in the mirror. I'm not sure though. You're appropriately where you need to be, Fiona, if that is you. Trying to see if there's anyone else I recognise his names down here. Anyone want to let me see in the chat? Is anybody in the chat owning up to where they are currently ranked? Let's have a look.
Probably not. It's early doors, but they're going to start looking.
Yeah, Fiona's there. Hi, Fiona. Listen, you're better at AI than you are. Maybe you should use AI for your team selection for FPL. Hey, that's what. Come off it.
Listen, it's early doors. It's early doors. You know, you're posturing at the moment, making choices. Those that picked Ekitike off and Haaland are feeling rather smug. Those like me who picked João Pedro and Goalkeeper are in the mud, but we still score points. Rangers is a huge pick. And I like Cucurella. I think he's going to be a good pick. I did have Sanchez in goal and I pulled him out so I could have extra money elsewhere. But
Nathan, big up to Nathan. He's over in America. He's commentating on all sorts of sports. He knows enough about soccer to be sitting there in 27th spot. Congratulations.
Well done.
Very
Nathan.
good, Nathan. Very, very good. Anyone else? Spurs GC2, 53rd. Very, very impressive, mate. It's early doors, boys and girls. It's early doors. Jalen is 20th.
Yeah. Alpesh says he has a strong squad, but he doesn't tell me his number.
Let's have a look. Let me go up to. How do I? Oh, that's not it. Wait a minute. How do I get up from the bottom? Oh, am I at the top again? No. How do I go to the? How do I go back up? How do I get to the top?
Scroll.
Yeah, but it just. Where do I reset? How do I go back? You know what? Hang on. I know what I'll do. This way. Perfect. Let's have a look at the top end of the market, shall we? And listen, guys, if you want to be up here, then you got to take on. You got to take on these boys. So we got Victor Mariano, Ben Williams, currently number 2, Thud 2.0, John Gaskin. Has Ben Williams got? He's got 2 teams. How can you have 2 teams, Ben Williams? Thud 2.0 and Thud 3.0. What are we doing here? I'm not familiar with these names yet. AK. I definitely know AK. 84 points. Wowzers. Who else we got?
Ross and bowlers are coming in.
Is that Phil Panini? Phil Panini? Frank the Tank? I think it is. He's doing very well as well. Very well.
Got a nice amount of people, guys. 400 people. I closed the account so no one can cheat and be doing well and then jump in.
Yeah.
This is only for the originals. And I think 400 is a lovely number.
I just want to see if whether anyone else has used. No, he hasn't used the bench boost. This guy, Thud. What did he have? Raya.
Yes, lovely.
It's captaining Haaland and then having Rangers. They're the 2 you need.
And Raya, mate, having Raya in goal.
Charleston in there. He's got your boy.
Yeah.
Well done.
He's had an absolute, and Raya got 10 points. He's absolutely smashed it.
Sensational stuff.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me get rid of that. There you go. That's the FPL roundup and the predictions roundup. So as it stands in the predictions, Johnny is on 8 points. Sean is on 11. And the chat, congratulations, chat. Blaine Devlin did you very well. You're currently 12 points. You're ahead of the schedule. I'm going to be putting this into some sort of more visual format so we can look back over the season. But Johnny, anything else? Any other transfer stories?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it for today. Obviously we're all hoping for some bombers, whoever you support, in the next few days before the weekend's fixtures. Palace looking for bombers, Spurs looking for bombers, and other clubs looking to sell players. But it's goodbye from me. Guys, hit the like. If you're listening on audio, guys, you've been fantastic on YouTube. Unbelievable. Hitting that subscribe button. But on audio, you've been shocking, right? Absolutely shocking. I think we've got five or six ratings or likes or comments in there. So if you could pop on to Apple, if you listen on Apple or listening on Spotify, give us a rating, give us a follow. We're trying to build the audio side up. But guys, we couldn't be here without you. Thanks for your support. Sean's got something.
Just quickly, guys, if there is a member of the show that wants to come on Thursday and do their predictions, then DM me on Twitter or send us an email to Spurs Talk Show at proton.me. And if you're willing to put your face on the camera and represent what Blaine did, then we'll bring you on at the end of a show on Thursday, and we'll get you to represent the chat for next week. Guys, love it there. We'll leave it there, and we love you all. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you very much for that super chat there from Henry Thong TV. I don't know what's going on. None of the super chats are registering like they usually do. So if I've missed any, I do really very much apologize. But I think that's the first one I've seen. But big up to you, Henry Thong. And no Spurs players, Sean? Not yet. Not yet. You know, don't worry. Don't worry.
Nathan's quite right. If Ben Williams, if you're listening, Ben, and you've got 2 fantasy teams, you can have 2 Spotify reviews and two Apple reviews. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, thanks very much. And we are going to give away some. I've got a couple of shirts and things, DH Gate, that are still in their paper. I now know that I'm too big for them, so I'm going to be giving them away. We'll do some live giveaways as well throughout the season. So this is where you want to come, guys, if you want some fun, some frolics, and some fantasy football alongside predictions. We'll leave it there. There's another super chat that's just popped in. Very, very cool of you as well. Tommy said, "Good show, fellas." Appreciate you very much, Tommy. Thank you very much indeed. We'll leave it there, guys. And thanks. It's goodbye from me, Johnny. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him.
See you tomorrow, fellas and girls.